Okay, we got Praetorian playing as twins in the black versus Mastro playing as... Ooh, they swapped up. They're going to Zawan. Okay. Just fix that just real quick then.
It's funny. It looks like Praetorian is not familiar with the map because there's a specific like sequence of moves you want to do with your commander to get a heal like Mastro is doing, and Praetorian is not doing that, so they're gonna be they're gonna start at a disadvantage. I guess.
Especially if they heal or capture the village from that side. There's far more aggressive sides you can capture. Which does open up more options, so they're doing a kind of slower opening here, and yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a rough one. Because I actually think there's room to explore with skipping the heal. Maybe not like a massive amount, but yeah, like not capturing from one of the more aggressive sides on the village definitely slows you down.
I mean, there is like ideas, but the problem with that is that your opponent can kind of punish it really hard by capturing a bunch of stuff, and you can't do anything about it, really. I think there was an idea with like the commander would go to the middle, but that was that was from Shu, and sometimes when Shu says something, you're like, oh, of course, that's genius. But then there's other times, like when Shu says something, you're like, that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Right. Well, in this case, we're seeing Mastro with a reasonable econ lead. And a very aggressive commander position, actually. I think that's the main advantage they have right now. Zawan right up in their opponent's stronghold and has groove too, so... and yeah, just like has a bit larger swathes of the map. And Praetorian, I think this is going to be a fairly quick game, actually.
Yeah.
Their commander's playing catch up every time they're hitting a village, they're taking damage as well, so...
And next turn they're gonna have to start dealing with knights too.
And
yeah.
Yeah, they need stuff to defend their stronghold with, which
yeah. Defending the stronghold is on this map, like you have to be aware of like stronghold rush ideas. One simple way I like to defend it is just to get a fairly early dragon, because even when there's a mage, like you can like push off or block fairly easily, and if your opponent can't take the stronghold early, then the dragon transitions well. But yeah, here, I mean, Mastro could have gone for some more stronghold pressure, but looks like they're gonna settle with just being ahead and getting more and more value.
Yeah, and they have the opportunity now to just sit and get tier 2 instead of tier 1, which is going to be really scary. Actually, especially because you can just like murder the opponent's rifle with a couple vines too.
Yep. And I mean, I think this is one of the points what I have against Zawan on this map, which, Mastro and I disagree quite a bit on. But, we disagree on a lot of things for this map, so it's just that I think Zawan doesn't actually have that much real threat on the stronghold. And you see here that Mastro had a pretty big lead from the opening, and it didn't transition into a strong amount of stronghold threat, although
Oh,
Now
that tier
this is
2 did
going
so much
to
damage.
hurt quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah,
Praetorian had a kind of checker pattern formation, and Zawan really loves this.
yeah, and killed one sword, did loads of
Oh,
damage,
I
hurt the
just
rifle too.
realized. Hang on. If you're fighting both Pistol and Zawan, what do you do? Because
Cry.
you can just cry. There's nothing you can do.
Keep your army on the
Praetorian
opposite side of the
probably
map.
Praetorian probably not that far away from crying after this tier 2 groove. And it's gonna do damage again.
Yeah, vines are just gonna move around. Oh, that rifle's so low now. And just like not having to hit it directly. I mean, I know you can just like one-shot it with certain grooves, but even so, oh, this is like so much damage. It's actually brutal. And everything else is also just doing lots of damage. And these are like kind of interactions you wouldn't normally see, like people just sending like units that wouldn't kill, just into fights, but because everything's so like beaten up from being in, being vined, that you can just start like throwing like a not full health unit into an opponent's like also not full health unit, because why
Yeah.
not?
Oh, but wait, this is maybe like the best situation to use Cooling Flame when both your units are damaged and your opponent's units are all over the place.
Yeah. Oh, is this gonna be enough though? Like, I mean, it's a really nice cooling flame. Ooh, nice hit, killing that dragon too. But I guess the question is this enough?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, both of these grooves are actually pretty interesting because they. Ooh, that rifle didn't run far away enough. Yeah, both grooves stay on the field for multiple turns.
Oh, we're
So
seeing
let's
suicides. I
see
think this is
how.
gonna
Oh
be
wait, this.
Golem. Oh yeah, and just green finger. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
no.
Zawan, I should
Well,
say.
I guess Cooling Flame will not stay for multiple turns on the field because the game is going to end.
Yeah. And Mastro now qualifies for the main event. Probably very happy about that. They had a bit of a rough bracket last time, I think, but
Yeah, they've had a rough bracket every time.
yeah. But in this case, they take the game. They're gonna qualify. They're gonna make it through. And Praetorian, actually, I think if they knew the opening on this map, which is unfortunate because it's one of those things where I think everybody in the community knows this opening because this map is quite old at this point. It's what, like 3 years
Yeah,
old?
and I mean, this is something like if you play the map once and you do it, then you don't do it again.
Yeah, or maybe there's like some kind of weird plan you go into with it. Where you can go for the center or something and it throws your opponent off, but Praetorian missed that opportunity as well. They captured the village from, I would say, like the side that didn't give them opportunity to do other things, so yeah.
And I mean, it's like like that village is kind of baiting you to go for it. You know, you want to go capture the furthest village with your commander on turn one, but no, you shouldn't. Not on this map.
Yeah. And I mean, I like that. I like that there's an interesting amount of testing different skills. So like knowing when you should and shouldn't rush center, and knowing when it is important to heal your commander early versus like sometimes you can see games where people just don't heal their commander for like 5 or 6 turns because there's just no reason to before that point. And like knowing how to play those maps is really its own kind of skill. But in this case, we see a really good game from Mastro, and I actually think Praetorian could qualify if they go into the next event and give it another shot. I think a lot of the I mean, this isn't to like put them down or anything, but I think a lot of the really strong players in the community already have qualified. So the next qualifier I think is going to be a bit more for the taking, but I also just think Praetorian, if they knew that opening, I think this would have been a much closer game. And while I do think that Mastro was the favorite in this set, Praetorian did give us a good showing in both games. More in game one, I would say, but
Yeah, they got some good ideas. Like their Caesar tier 1 was actually pretty good.
yeah.
And I like that they're not like getting stuck in the like a lot of people that try to make Caesar work, they kind of tunnel vision on the tier 2. I mean, I do that. I'm like Caesar is about the tier 2, so I'm not gonna use the tier 1. And I don't even think about it. But the tier 1 is still pretty powerful. And you gotta be looking out for plays like that.
Well, that is us for the moment. We're going to go into the next set. So we'll be back in a second.